am more than breast cancer.
I am more than gastric cancer.
I am more than Hodgkin's lymphoma stage 3.
I am more than Lynch syndrome.
I am more than metastatic male breast cancer.
I'm more than PMDD.
I am more than diabetes.
I am more than lupus.
I am more than FAP.
Welcome to More Than a Diagnosis. I'm Den.
And I'm Jess. This podcast is about so much more than cancer, chronic illness, or the labels we've been given. It's about reclaiming our lives, finding community, and thriving in ways we never thought possible.
Whether you're a patient, a caregiver, or just someone curious about what it means to live beyond a diagnosis, we're so glad you're here. Have you ever had a full-blown mental breakdown and somehow end up cracking up in the middle of it?
Of course. I absolutely have. 1 minute I'm literally like spiraling on the verge of tears, and then the next minute I'm like cracking a joke and being really existential. I think that it has become like a coping mechanism, maybe a little bit of a trauma response. But is it effective? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It totally is extremely effective. And I feel like ever since being diagnosed with cancer, like that's what got me started on TikTok, on posting videos about what was going on with me with cancer, was because I had to cut my hair off. My hair was down to my waist. I chopped it off into a pixie cut. So I did a video about the big chop. And then after I shaved my head, I started making funny videos about being bald. And it really helped because when my hair started to fall out, like I've not ever been like super attached to my hair. And so I really didn't think that it was going to be a huge deal when my hair started to fall out. But I'm telling you, the first time I ran my hands through my fingers through my hair and I had hair in my hands, I was like, my hair's falling out. And so I had my moment. I cried about it. And then I was like, okay, I'm done crying about this. Now let's just laugh because this is funny. And I've always wanted to know how I look bald. And so it became my coping mechanism to laugh through it, you know?
Of course. And you look really good bald, by the way.
Thank you.
Just want to throw that out there.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
But it's so true. And today we're going to talk about laughing through the breakdowns. And, you know, we're not saying that mental health struggles are funny or hilarious, but sometimes laughing is what keeps us going.
Yep.
I won't ever forget, after my colon removal, I realized that my bowel movements had changed, and oftentimes I don't have as much control as I'd like.
Yeah.
So there were close calls and then just not making it at all. And
yeah,
I would cry a lot. It's something I wasn't used to.
Yeah.
These changes were really hard to process.
Yeah.
You know, but this one time I didn't make it and I got up and I almost slipped. Something about almost slipping cracked me up. I was laughing so hard. Instead of sad tears, it was those laughter tears.
Yep.
It was the funniest thing.
Yep.
And it was in that moment, that split second, that I didn't feel so crappy about myself and not making it to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was a massive cleanup, you know, in order, but
Clean up on aisle 5.
Yep, exactly. Code brown.
My goodness.
But that's all it took for me to feel less humiliated about what had just occurred.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
And it made a really big difference from then on.
It does. I feel like, you know, shit happens.
Literally.
And figuratively. Both, right?
Yep.
Man. But, you know, I think laughter is good. We need to laugh. It helps loosen things up, you know?
You know, and something about laughter, it makes our bodies release endorphins, which are those feel-good chemicals. And it helps us process. You know, it's our body's way of saying, hey, you're still safe. You're still alive.
Yeah.
And laughter can also decrease cortisol and inflammation, which will also help us feel good about ourselves.
Yeah.
It all works together. And all you have to do is laugh.
That's so
true. To get those feel-good chemicals released.
Okay,
you know?
That makes me want to run a science experiment on myself because I deal with so much chronic pain right now. And so I feel like when I'm having a really bad pain moment, now I just want to go like find a funny video or watch something really funny and just start cracking up and seeing if it helps me feel like I'm in less pain.
Stop, you're gonna go poke yourself and then laugh about it?
I think at this point I have enough chronic pain that I don't have to inflict pain on myself in order to feel pain.
Well, I guess this is the part where I should mention that laughter would reduce your pain temporarily and not take it away completely, just reduce it.
Okay.
But still, we should definitely run this experiment.
But I'm still going to run the experiment and see if it really does reduce it, even though temporarily, at least a little bit, because now I'm really curious. And if anybody out there does this, please tell me what your results were, because now I'm super curious. You know,
I am too.
I think that also dark humor is a way to process through the trauma, because we can say things and be kind of dark in our humor when we've gone through dark things, right? Yeah. Like, it helps us kind of process what's happening to us in real time. Because like you were saying, you know, when you're in the bathroom cleaning up this big mess, you could be literally sobbing and feeling so bad about yourself and like bad about what's happening to your body, but instead like you have cried about it and now you're laughing about it, and it's helping you to realize like I can't really control this. And so it's like getting you to a place of almost acceptance.
Yes, I agree. I definitely agree.
So then it helps to like process the trauma in that way. But there is also a difference, right?
Absolutely.
How we cope with humor.
Exactly, because we can use humor to process our trauma and empower us to further process the hard moments. But if we use that humor to self-deprecate ourselves, then that's where the problem lies. And I'm so guilty of using humor to self-deprecate myself, and you know, I'm guilty of using humor in self-deprecating ways. And the key, I think, is to be mindful and catch yourself when you're being self-deprecating. I think that's probably what's changed in my case, is that now I'm mindful about why I'm making those jokes, and you know, instead of basically processing, I'm just trying to avoid even
feeling it. You're like, well, I'll just laugh about it. But then you're also kind of ignoring it, I guess,
which
in a way.
defeats the purpose of processing.
Yeah, for sure. I think that there's a fine line between laughing with yourself versus laughing at yourself, maybe.
Absolutely. Yes.
It's, you know, but I think that when we find that balance, that's when humor becomes really, really helpful to us, because I feel like there's a lot of positive that can come out of making a situation humorous, because I feel like in my case, when I started sharing on TikTok the humorous side of things, that's what was starting to build connections, because I could make a joke about being bald, and somebody who had just recently shaved their head, it makes them also laugh. And so it's lessening like their feelings of being down over having to lose their hair. And then they're like, haha, that's funny. And so then we have this connection where it's like almost like an inside joke. Same with having poopy pants, right? Our friend Narissa's always talking about how when she was going through treatment, how she had turbo tummy.
Right. Every time I hear the word, I think about her.
I know, right? It's like, so having turbo tummy and like having diarrhea and not being able to trust a fart, like,
no.
That's building connection, right? Like, it's building a connection between like the chronic illness community and the cancer community, because these are things that we have both dealt with and that we can relate to each other on. We know what it's like to not be able to trust a fart.
And there's something about laughing about something we both have in common.
Yeah.
Or, you know, someone just saying, hey, me too.
Yeah.
And laugh about it.
Yeah.
It just brings it all together.
It does. It does. And I think it also makes it feel a little less scary, too.
Absolutely.
Because these things that we experience going through chronic illness and going through something like cancer, those are scary things.
Yeah.
And like, we're not laughing at cancer or like
Mm-mm.
at the chronic illness or like the terrible things that it causes, but laughing about it just kind of like lightens the mood a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, I go back to when I was newly diagnosed. It's scary. It's uncharted waters that, we're navigating. And that fear is very real.
Yeah.
And that anxiety is very paralyzing.
Yeah.
So if we can offset some of that fear and anxiety with a little bit of laughter,
absolutely.
Why not?
Why not?
Right?
Why wouldn't we? I think that there is a point though that we sometimes have to be careful because humor can be harmful. I think you touched on this a little bit, but like if you're using humor as a way to suppress your real feelings and to avoid what's happening, like then that's not healthy and that's not helpful, because there is definitely, I'm not sure if you've ever experienced this, of like coming across people where they're making jokes and you just know that it's because they're covering up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you can feel that. Like,
yeah. And I've done it.
Yeah.
I've done that part too.
Yeah.
I many times have not wanted to process.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about it. Out of sight, out of mind. Can we not deal with it?
Yeah.
And I've used laughter in that way.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's telling. And I'm sure some people have seen it.
Definitely.
And it's really not the best way to cope.
Yeah.
Because in order to get through it, you've got to feel it.
Feel
and
it.
not laugh it away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that there's like this fine line between being able to laugh through something and feel the feelings of why you're laughing about that thing versus using it as a way to cover up, put a Band-Aid over it, and not actually like feeling the feels. I think also when we laugh about these things, I think it kind of unintentionally like scares people who are not going through this.
Stop. Yes.
In a way, it can be.
Yeah.
I don't want, like, I feel like alienating is kind of an aggressive term because what we're going through, it really is like our experience, our lived experience. But I don't know if you've ever been around like people who have had similar experiences to you. And so you start making jokes about it, and people who've never experienced those things are sitting around with their eyes like bugging out of their head,
wide open. Yes, like, so uncomfortable.
Like, am I supposed to laugh? Can I laugh at this?
Like, is this okay? You're joking about such a serious thing.
And
can I
like,
laugh?
yes,
is it okay to laugh? Am I allowed to laugh?
You can laugh. You can
their
laugh.
faces.
There are jokes, but you can laugh at them, and that's okay. Like,
but their faces.
It's pretty
crack
priceless.
Me up. It's.
And I feel like we don't do it in a way that's like meant to be like shock and awe. I mean, maybe some people do, but I feel like it's just a way that we're coping and we're so used to it. And when we spend a lot of time around other people who have similar humor to us, that it's not meant to make anybody feel left out.
No.
But it's just our experience, and it's how we joke around, and I think it helps.
Absolutely. And I think there is a balance between laughing and also taking our mental health seriously. We can do both.
Yeah.
It's not one or the other.
Yes.
I think we can multitask, laugh, and take our mental health seriously.
I think so too. I think so too. I think it's important that we, put the jokes aside and actually deal with the hard stuff. But I think in the moment, sometimes just laughing through it is what we got to do. And I think that we can also just know when we need to seek help versus when we're using humor as a way to cope with these mental health things, because sometimes it's important to say, okay, I've laughed about this and I've made light of it, but also there's some really deep feelings here that I need to talk about.
Yeah. That I need to address in order to not move past it or forget about it, but make peace with it.
Yeah.
I think is really important.
Yeah.
At least in my case.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
think
what
about
the laughter,
like you
poopy laughter was about.
Exactly. Like losing your colon and not being able to control your bowels. Like laughing about it was important, but it was like a step in the direction of working on acceptance and working on your healing.
Absolutely. But at that moment, the laughter was necessary. It was. And later on, and still to this day, am I still processing? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think I will always be processing because I will never have a colon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's something I'm working on, and therapy has worked wonders. And yes, you can laugh about it. I laugh during therapy.
I was just going to say.
I do. Like, my therapist probably thinks I'm hilarious.
Yep.
Yep. But it's necessary. It's part of it. At least, maybe it's my personality or what, but
sure,
it works.
Sure.
It helps.
Yep. Yeah, I know. I think that therapy is like so crucial in learning how to process through these things. But like you said, we can still be humorous in therapy. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen those videos on TikTok where it's like, they're like the little meme videos when people are in therapy and then the therapist is like, and now how do we handle this? Yes. And they're like, make a joke? Like, make a dark joke?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think that sometimes like we revert to humor because it's an easy way to just push through. Because sometimes it's easier and it feels better to laugh than it does to cry. Because crying is therapeutic. Don't get me wrong. I've had many a good cry and there's nothing like a good cry and it's very cleansing, but we don't always have time for a good cry. And so I feel like we can laugh through it in the moment and then figure out when we need to revisit and sit down and process through it and work through the trauma of it all.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you had that humor like when you were first diagnosed, or do you feel like this is something that has come with time?
Well, I think humor has always been a part of me.
Yeah.
But when it comes to laughing about my condition, that didn't come along until my colon was actually removed. And so that's why I think it has become a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Because I used humor in self-deprecating ways, unfortunately. But once I went through all of these illnesses, I had to find a way to keep afloat.
Yeah.
Because these illnesses can really push you down.
Yeah.
And laughter has been a way to cope and get through the hard times. And I will continue to make light of my situation because it helps me.
Yeah.
And, I understand laughter about certain things will make some people uncomfortable.
Sure.
And that's okay.
Yep.
Because I'm the one who doesn't have a colon.
Exactly.
If I want to laugh about it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
And, if you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to talk about it. But is there an example that you can give of having self-deprecating humor? Because I feel like sometimes people are very self-deprecating, but they don't even realize that they're being self-deprecating. I feel like it's kind of important to talk about what does that self-deprecation look like so that if we're doing that, then we can maybe take pause and be like, oh, shoot, I do that.
Yes.
I should probably not do that.
Yes. Well, I've really struggled with body image. I have had body image issues for as long as I can remember. It's always been the case.
Yeah.
And I've always used humor as a way to make light of my weight, excess weight, or, the way certain clothes would fit on me. I had these jeans. They were my favorite jeans. And every time I would put them on, I'd have like a little muffin top. And so this one time, I don't know how we started talking about jeans, and I grabbed my muffin top and I wiggled it. And I said, look, my muffin top is talking to you. Like, it was funny. But I really was... It wasn't kind of me. It wasn't. It was unnecessary, and it was me struggling to accept what my body looked like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I did
so
that
it's
often.
almost like it's almost like if you're being critical of yourself and like if the humor is rooted then in shame.
Exactly. Thing. Yep. Yeah.
Because that is like you're feeling maybe some type of way about having a muffin top, and so you're going to make a joke about it before anybody else can say anything about your weight. And so you're like, well, let me just joke about it.
Yes, because I had a lot of people around me who were very critical of me. And I was ashamed of what I look like. I really was. I was constantly looking in the mirror, constantly putting myself down. And laughter was a way to continue doing that.
Yeah.
And hide the shame that I felt about looking a certain way.
Sure.
And oftentimes, I think with body image, we see that a lot.
Yeah, well, because it's like it reinforces those negative beliefs that you have about yourself. And like saying I'm not good enough, or I need to lose weight, or I need this, or I need that. It's like changing the focus on something from like it's negative and not positive, not putting a positive focus on it. And I don't mean like toxically positive, but like working towards something and healing and instead being self-deprecating.
Yeah, and then by me laughing about it is kind of saying, yeah, it's okay to be mean.
Yeah.
It's okay. Let me be mean to myself before these people who I'm hanging out with say something about this belly that's hanging out my pants.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Yep. And that brings me to like when maybe a good metric of like, is this self-deprecating or not, is thinking, would I say this to my best friend? Would I say this to my child? Would I say this to somebody that I love? Like, if I wouldn't make this joke about them, then I shouldn't make it about myself. Because if it's mean, like you said, you're being mean to yourself.
Yeah.
And so then that's not really funny. Like, you're trying to deflect and make it funny, but also it's not a healthy way to, use humor to cope with what you're going through. Because using humor to cope is more uplifting, right?
Right.
It can be bittersweet.
Yeah.
But it's not going to tear you down.
No, but using humor in self-deprecating ways does tear you down.
Yeah.
You're talking bad about yourself, which is going to further bring down your self-esteem.
Yeah, it's just going to make you feel worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that that's a big difference, right?
Yes.
Is going from when your humor makes you feel better.
Yes.
When it releases those endorphins.
Yes.
When it's doing the thing with the cortisol. When all those good things.
Lowering the cortisol levels and the inflammation and
all of that. When it's doing all those good things, I think that that's a point that shows that humor isn't self-deprecating and it's not harmful and it's not toxic, but that it's a thing that is helping us to feel lighter and helping us to feel good about ourselves and helping us to get to the place where we can process instead of us being at a place where it's tearing us down and actually making us feel worse. Because if you feel worse about it, then is it really, a good thing? So I think that what are some fun, like for me, when it comes to like ways to cultivate humor, TikTok is a huge one for me because there's a lot of funny videos, there's a lot of funny trends, a lot of funny sounds.
Yes, and it's the good kind of laughter, the laughter that makes you feel good.
Yes.
It's not self-deprecating.
Yes.
You actually feel the difference with this kind of laughter and feel more at ease and almost self-accepting.
Yes. Yes.
I feel.
Well, I think that that's where it was for me with like the shaving the head thing and being bald. Like, it was helping me to accept that I was bald. Like, it wasn't, I wasn't doing it because I hated being bald. It was me learning how to accept, this is how I look now, and this is what I look like with no hair, and this is a funny trend about somebody cutting my hair off, and she cut off too much. Like, it's a way that it was helping me.
I think we can use laughter as a stepping stone almost to boost us into processing.
Yes. Yes, I totally agree.
Laughing, though, doesn't mean that we're not struggling. I do want to make that really clear because I have seen it time and time again where people may see me laughing and they're saying to themselves, wow, look, she's doing real well.
Literally.
But inside, I am struggling. I'm on that struggle bus, struggling with pain and bowel issues and you name it, because it's a lot that we're dealing with. So laughter doesn't mean we're okay.
Oh yeah, I think that happened to me a lot through cancer, and like people finding my funny videos and being like, well, she's handling this really well. When like 5 minutes after making and posting the video, being in my bed crying or being in the shower crying and being like, like my life is ending,
No.
But
we're using laughter as survival.
Yes.
As a survival mechanism.
Literally. And I feel like some of the best humor comes from the hardest experiences sometimes. And if you've ever laughed through the breakdown, then trust me, you are not alone.
No.
Not at all. You're in good company. We love a good joke. We love to laugh through the trauma, and it's a fun trauma bonding experience.
I agree. Yeah. And, if our listeners would love to share something funny they've said or laughed about during a rough mental health moment, we would love to hear all about it.
Absolutely. Hit us up in the support circle or on our TikToks and tell us a time where you laughed through the trauma, because we want to laugh with you.
Yes. Thanks for joining us on More Than a Diagnosis. We hope today's conversation left you feeling seen, heard, and maybe even a little more connected.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who might need it.
And if you're looking for a place to connect with others who truly get it, join our support circle at morethanadiagnosis.org, where we will continue this conversation. It's free, it's welcoming, and it's built for you.
Because no one should have to navigate this alone.
Until next time,
keep living, keep growing, and remember,
you are more than a diagnosis.